Yeah, there we go. Okay. I wish I didn't have to press all these buttons to share to groups. It's so tedious. It takes up so much time. Hey, good morning, Nicole. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Good morning, Kristen. Happy New Year. And tell Andrea Happy New Year too, and the cats. I hope you guys had a good New Year's Eve. I stayed in. It was quiet here. Paul decided to go to bed at like 6:30. He just was like, I'm going to bed. We were watching Discovery Channel stuff. And he just stood up and he's like, I go bed now. I was like, oh, okay. So he went to bed early, early, early. He got up at about like 2 in the morning, and I helped him to the bathroom and stuff like that. But he slept through the night till about 7 a.m. So it was just funny. We were sitting there watching Discovery Network programming, and he just stood up and he said, I go bed. And it was dark out, so I thought maybe it was 8:30, which is his normal bedtime usually. It was 6:30. So I went to bed pretty early myself. Yesterday we went to, I'm just sharing out to groups, so I'm telling you guys just stuff that we did. Yesterday we went to see the movie Frozen, and it was kind of strange. He was enjoying the movie at first, and then there was this part where, I mean, I don't want to give it away because I don't know if any of you guys are going to go see Frozen, but I didn't see the first one. This was the sequel, and so the little snowman guy, I think he was sort of passing away in the video. I'm not in the movie. I'm not exactly sure what was going on, but one of the girl characters was holding him, and Paul just started crying. Ugh. And I didn't know what to do, so I just held his hand and I stroked his hand in the movie theater. And then I asked him. I leaned over and I whispered in his ear. I said, "Do you want to go?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Are you sure?" He said, "Yeah." And so we left the movie early, which is okay by me. I don't care. I want him to be okay. Um, it's been a weird day. Yesterday was a weird day. We were having lunch before the movie, and I mentioned something to him about um, being excited about going home, like going back to where he lives in Florida and seeing the people there that he cares about. And he said to me, "No, I don't want to go back to Florida." And I said, "Well, where do you think you're going to go?" He said, "I stay here with you. I stay here with you." And that kind of broke my heart. Um, I had to call his caregiver yesterday after we left the theater because I didn't know what to do. This has been harder than I expected. I'm sorry to be so emotional with you guys. I really appreciate you guys tuning in and listening. Um, it was pointed out to me yesterday by a viewer that maybe I'm being a little bit too personal in my forecasts and talking too much about my personal stuff, and they may be right. I might need to refrain from doing that, but right now I feel like it's just me and Paul in the house, and I'm not really always sure what the right thing is to do. I'm not a nurse. I'm certainly not a disabled caregiver. I mean, I'm trying my best and I'm doing a damn good job. I think I'm doing a good job. I hope I'm doing a good job. But I also tend to be my own worst critic. So he's good now. We just had breakfast and he's coloring, and I'm going to try and get this forecast done. I have to do the horoscopes for January. I've totally lost sight of that with Paul's visit, so those might come out late after he goes home on the 6th. I don't know. He was adamant about not leaving. It was weird. told him, I said, you can't stay here. I had promised Devin is his caregiver. I said, I promised Devin I would bring you back. I have to bring you back on the 6th. It's against the law for me to keep you. The saddest part is that as much as I would like to keep him, I don't know that I actually can. Like that I can physically hold this up or do this for a very long period of time. It's a lot of work. Not that I mind doing it. It's a lot of work. Alright, I'm almost done sharing. Give me one moment. I got one more group and then we're good to get going. But I hope you guys have had a good New Year's. Okay, I believe we're all shared out at this point. So it is January 1st of 2020, guys. I can't believe it. It's here. I decided to switch decks. I didn't do, what are you guys saying? I'm sorry. Good morning, Janet Clifton. Hey, Dead Mirror. Good morning, Laura Whitebean. Good morning, Karen McIntosh. Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Lisa. Thank you guys for your support and listening to me. And some of you have messaged me and sent me support in those ways, and I really appreciate it. I know that I'm only just responding with thank yous and things like that because part of the reason is I don't want to get too emotional about it. I feel like the only time that I really get to talk about it or outlet about it is right now for about this time that I'm here with you guys. Then I have to go back to being Joe Normal, or as normal as I can be. So, this is my outlet time right now, my me time. I don't even, right now, I've spoken the last few days about the scuffle happening between me and my mom. I don't really even have her as a sounding board right now, so it's been kind of a little bit, I wouldn't say more difficult for me, but it's just been more stressful in general, just dealing with all of the emotions around that stuff too. So, I appreciate your guys' support, even if they're, even if it is getting a little bit too personal. So I'm going to shake all that off. Let's do the breath work. So please, let's bring our attention to our present time body right here, right now, in this very moment. Give thanks for that. Take your body, or your hand to your body, and just bringing your attention back to now, not from yesterday, not from last week. Taking it off of the future and the worry that we might have, or the doubt that we might have about our outcomes. And just bringing that back to center, back to where we are right now, currently in this position, in our present moment. Planting our feet firmly onto the ground. Let's inhale that first breath deep into the belly. We're going to hold that breath. So inhale with me now. Hold that breath. Allow that light to emanate. Oh shit. He just dropped a crayon. I know the dog's going to try and eat the crayon. Allow that light to emanate. Adjust your chakras. Release that breath. Giving thanks for the body. I'm going to go through this really quickly because I'm going to get out there and get that crayon before the dog does. Let's take in that second breath. And hold. Hold on, Paul. I'll be right there. And release. Giving thanks to the mind. Taking that third breath really quickly, guys. Hold. Emanate that light out past your body, out into your aura. And release. Giving thanks to the spirit and everything that it does for us. Take a few breaths here. I'm going to run and grab that crayon. I'll be right back. You guys, drop the crayon. Oh, sorry guys. I have a new appreciation for parents. I mean, not that he's like a child, but it's, you have to manage so much more than just pets. I'm used to only managing pets. And even that can be work at times. But I've gotten used to that. So, sorry to have stepped away. Um, uh, I chose to switch the decks for the beginning of the year. I'm working with a new deck that I had gotten off of Amazon. I had gotten a gift card from Suddenlink, my phone company, for a $50 gift card. So I bought this off of my wish list. It's the White Sage Tarot. So I thought we would start the new year out with this for the month of January. I just kind of liked the box design with the owl holding the scepter and the crown and the moon and all of that sort of stuff. You know me and my charming symbols and stuff. I love that sort of stuff. Hey Heidi Phillips, good morning. Hi, MA Winner. How are you? Good morning, Ducky. How are you and Leslie Ann? So we're going to work with that deck this morning. So I'm going to start to give this deck a good shuffle because it has yet to be used. It's brand new to all of us, so it should have a brand new energy to it. Hopefully we're bringing in a brand new energy into January 1st, 2020. So let's see what Spirit wants us to know, what our higher selves, our higher guides, guides of light, the angels, the ascended masters, what information do we need to know about today for the collective for Wednesday, January 1st, 2020? For both those of us that are tuned in live and those of us that may tune in at any point in time in the future. Sometimes it's, never mind, I don't want to talk about it. I'll talk about it to Ducky. I don't know. Or maybe I won't talk about it. I don't want to make this broadcast about me. I'm just caught up in my feelings right now, guys. There's just a lot of feelings around this visit. It's a lot to process. I do know this, though, and I tell you guys this all the time, and I really do truly firmly believe this. I was thinking this morning, is that God doesn't give us more than we can handle. So even though I maybe don't understand this situation right now fully, or what I'm supposed to do in it, how I'm supposed to be, I do know that it wouldn't be happening if I wasn't, prepared or had the skill set, even if I'm not aware that I have the skill set, right? So, I was thinking about that earlier this morning before Paul got up. It's like, even though I feel a little bit confused at times or self-doubtful, this is happening now for a reason, and I have to trust that my spirit, my soul is capable of handling this stuff, right? Even if my mind is a little doubtful, even if my heart is a little mournful, even if, I don't know. So I'm just trying to live in that reality or that belief to facilitate me making my way through this. But this isn't about me, so I'm just using that as an example for anybody who might be dealing with, not to say an exactly similar situation, but a similar situation where they feel like they're overwhelmed or they don't know that they can handle what they're dealing with. It's quite possible that we can. So just keep that in mind as best you can if you're struggling or if you're unsure. Sorry, I'm shuffling this deck a lot, but because it is a new deck, I want to get it good and shuffled. But I hope you guys are going to have a wonderful new year. And just so you know, too, the yearly tarot scopes are up at all times. I'm going to try and get the monthlies for January up. I don't know when and where I'm going to have time to do that because they take a little bit longer. I did get the fire signs done before Paul got here, but I still need to do earth, air, and water. So I'm going to try and find time. Okay, so let's see what our card is for today. I'm going to flip the camera around. Notice how I was saying how I love the box decorations with the owl, with the crown and the scepter, and then we get this owl with this crown and this scepter. And this is not the exact same design of the box design. I'll show you guys the box design again. But this is the box design, which I just thought it was a lovely owl. And I have this thing about owls. I think they're beautiful animals. Anyways, beautiful birds. So this is the King of Wands. This is a beautiful card. Wands represents the energy of fire, the element of spirit. I love that he's facing us head on. I love that the clouds are parting for him. I love that even though his crown is slightly askew, he has a beautiful authority about him. He is able to assess a situation. And actually, this is not an owl. This is a hawk, I think, now that I'm looking at this. This is not an owl. This is more a hawk, and the reason why I'm noticing that is because this is the Wands energy. So to me, this is more about, for me, hawks have that sort of like sight that where they can see prey from very far off is what I'm thinking of, and where my mind is taking me, my intuition is taking me. So when I think about this King of Wands here, it feels like it's saying to me that we have the sort of capability to sort of see things, find the answers, let the clouds clear, and we've done the work, right? Kings are always about having done the work, explored all the options, found our way through, learned our lessons. We've arrived, sort of, so to speak, in a way, with these court cards. They're like the highest of the court cards. You have usually like the page, the knight, the queen, then the king. So to me, it's like the king is sort of the culmination of growth for us, or the culmination and awareness, the settling of that growth and awareness for us, so that we can, rule from a place of authenticity and authority, right? So with this guy, I feel like not only is he doing that, and he's looking life like sort of straight in the eye, and he's very, with this straightforward glance that I get from this card, I get this very present moment feeling, like being very much in the present moment and being very aware. And even though, like, I see that his crown is firmly planted on his head, it might be slightly askew, like he might not always feel like he has all the answers, but he certainly has sort of, like I was saying earlier, the skill set. I do love that these cards are parting. So it says to me that some of us who've maybe been in situations that have been cloudy, or that we haven't necessarily always seen the answers very clearly, if that clarity has not yet to come to you, it's about to. For those of you that might be already entering into that period of clarity, welcome. This card definitely signifies that. There's a beautiful fiery energy to it, like a sort of a dynamic energy that allows us to sort of get things done with determination and strength from a deeply sort of spiritual place that enables us to be skillful, like this hawk, you know? So I decided also, while I was changing the tarot deck for the month into January, I'm deciding to go to a different oracle deck. As much as I love Song of My Heart, and there's so much deck there to be used still, I thought it would be appropriate to change both decks. So I've gone back to an older deck that I've used a couple of times in our pick a cards, and this is the I Am Everything deck. And I don't know why, I just felt inspired to grab it off of the shelf. So this will be the deck that we'll use with this White Sage. I think these are good decks to sort of like call in the new year, call in the new decade with sort of the energy of the White Sage and the energy of feeling as though we are everything, so that we have it all within us. And so that was the sort of the hope or the inspiration that I was trying to pull from to bring the messages through for you guys for this month of January as we kick off this year. So let's see what this I Am Everything deck has to say for us. I am passionate. I put my entire heart into the people and things I believe in. My passion is a powerful force. It is an internal fuel. I recognize the strength of my passion, and therefore I am careful where I choose to focus it. I am passionate. So that's the card from the I Am Everything deck. Oh, I didn't take the grounding stone off from yesterday. So to me, these two pair together very well, only from the standpoint that the King of Wands would be about fiery energy, about the energy of passion, the energy of directness, the energy of clear sight, the energy of being able to see things from a long distance off, and maybe be able to either avoid them altogether or find your way through them with ease and grace. with authority and authenticity. The idea of honoring your passions. What do you want? What are you excited about? What are you uh, going to go after in this new year? What is it that, like, turns you on, tunes you in, that sort of a thing? Explore that. Understand that that's a very powerful energy. And when we use that energy with, like, sort of the air of authority of this King of Wands, right? That sort of spiritual directness that I see or feel in this card, we can sort of part the clouds and create the dreams, create the passion, create the drive to achieve that for ourselves. So let's go to the grounding stone. And the grounding stone, it's funny, these white marble stones keep showing up this week. This is the third one out of 4. It's respect. So when I look at this, I think about respecting ourselves first and foremost, making sure that we have respect for ourselves before we can in turn truly respect another. If we don't have that respect for ourselves, it's hard to not only respect others, but also to have that respect from others. And so, finding that today, the King of Wands here says to me that we deserve respect. We do not necessarily demand it per se, but he automatically assumes it, right? He automatically assumes, he knows his position in the world. He knows he is the King of Wands, like he knows his spiritual strength. He has a clarity about him that if we acknowledge that within ourselves and we live from that place, and then we also acknowledge where we're passionate and the power of that. It says here, I put my entire heart into the people and things I believe in. Those are powerful words. And our hearts are powerful, powerful, magical connections to our own spirits. And when we take the energy from our heart and we respect that, right? And we acknowledge that for the passionate energy that is, and the power that is within that, the power that has to create, the power and the beauty that has to sort of make our reality, we're making magic. Right? We're making magic, and we are able to. It also says here, I am careful where I choose to focus it. I am passionate, right? I recognize the strength of my passion, and therefore I am careful where I choose to focus it. So sometimes passionate, I have to say this, and I'm only saying this because the last few days I've been a little bit maybe angry. My feelings have been hurt, but I'm going to talk about me yet again. But sometimes I can get passionate about something I deeply believe in, and it can drive me to a place of sort of anger or indignance, and that's not necessarily good either, and that's not respectful to myself or to others around me. It doesn't produce the respect that I feel like is in this grounding stone. So I think that we need to hold ourselves like the King of Wands today. Know that we have an authority, an awareness, an alertness, a keenness, an intelligence, a plethora of life experience that has led us to this point, that allows us to be like this King of Wands, that allows us to acknowledge where we're passionate about, what our strengths are, and acknowledge that, and then choose where to place it, right? And do so with a sense of respect, not only for ourselves, but for those around us. And see where that takes you in your day today. That is your, hi Anthony Costa, welcome. That is your daily forecast today for the 1st of January. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please go out, be passionate, be respectful to yourselves and others, and live like this King of Wands, right? Live with a beautiful authority and a spiritual connection that allows you to feel present in the moment, passionate about what you want, and able to go about getting it in a way that is honoring and respecting your desires, your dreams, and your needs. Okay? So that's your forecast for today, you guys. I'm gonna go. I need to go make sure that there's no more crayons on the floor. But I will see you guys tomorrow in the morning. Thank you all for tuning in. Sorry, everything's a daily sort of news report about my personal life, but um, at this right now I don't really have any other outlet where to share this information other than with Ducky, and she's maybe tired of it. um, so thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and that you are able to really embody the essence of that King of Wands. He's a beautiful, strong, spiritually connected card that we all could use going into the beginning of the year. All right, have a great New Year's, and I will see you guys tomorrow in the morning. All right, bye bye.